we do have to point out that over the past year, domestic violence deaths have doubled in our state. And the policies that have been in place that have allowed this to happen were not policies that our side of the aisle championed. Over the course of this session, we have filed quite a few bills that deal with domestic violence cases and, in my view, would save lives. And we've yet to get a single hearing on any of those pieces of legislation. This bill deals with orders of protection. I filed a bill that would make it a felony to violate an order of protection. Do all of you know that right now in the state of Illinois, if you violate an order of protection, it's a misdemeanor? Do you know what else is a misdemeanor? If you walk into a store and you take a candy bar and you leave, that's a misdemeanor. Do you know how tough it is for these domestic violence victims to go before their abusers in court? And what it puts them through, the fear they have, the torture that is, only to know that their abuser is not going to go to jail, not be taken away?
We have a bill here, folks, that a petitioner can go to court, circumvent the state's attorney and law enforcement, file for that order of protection. The judge shall issue that order of protection. Law enforcement issues that order of protection, serves that order of protection with the search warrant, kicks in somebody's door, seizes their firearms, and they have no due process rights at all. And you say, well, they can petition the courts, get their FOID card back later. That typically takes about 18 months. The radical left in this state is not only out of touch with working people, they're out of touch with reality. Illinois has one of the most restrictive states. We're one of the most restrictive states in the country when it comes to gun laws. Every state around us, except Wisconsin and Michigan, have constitutional carry. Only Hawaii, Illinois, Massachusetts, and New Jersey require additional identification to purchase firearms, with Illinois being the worst state in the union.
How can an individual who's a respondent, who is ordered to surrender firearms, transfer them to a third party?
So taking law enforcement's advisement under consideration, we understand the importance of third-party transfer, and we have worked into the bill a procedure for respondents. Most importantly, in this critical, timely nature of an emergency, we need law enforcement to take possession of those firearms. They are the most trusted and safest place for the firearms to be.
I think it's pretty good. Remember that this is something that's been important to me. As you know, we've heard from law enforcement over the course of the negotiations of it, the challenge of removing guns from a home or from a person. I think you've heard this before, that when someone's FOID card, for example, has been revoked and we know they have a weapon, that it takes 4 police officers usually to go remove just one weapon from the hands of somebody who had their FOID card revoked. 4 police officers. And we have, there were, I think at the time that we were examining this problem, there were 10,000 people whose FOID cards had been revoked. But can you imagine having 4 officers go to 10,000? I mean, the amount of time, the amount of law enforcement that would be taken off the streets, very challenging. So that was one of the things that was in consideration about how do we effectuate this. And I think law enforcement got to a point where they felt like they can effectuate the Karina's law. And it's the right idea, it's the right thing to do. I will sign the bill. Governor. Yeah.